Today I just wanna to talking about what is the theoretical justice. The Breaking Bad, the U.S. TV show, is the very familiar for every movie watcher, a movie having. But the theoretical and the Breaking Bad were happening the current moment. And why the Breaking Bad is happening now? So the Satan Church's group's power is so strong, and the power so strong. They control the 100% law system in United States, China, Japan, South Korea, Eastern Asia, or the Southeastern Asia. So, if who just believe the law system, the police officer just believe the church system joy, and they will becoming the good man, but not and the child and the students protector. So what is the theoretical justice? I just experienced and two things. The one thing I experienced is that probably my relative, but he is not directly my relative. Probably in the families and organ going up to the source, and he and me probably something like the far relative relation. His name is the Mansu, and the Mansu. The Mansu, and apparently he is a criminal, and no any companies to hiring him because he and entering some of the and Yanbian and Gong'an, the prisoner, and the prisoner, the Mansu, probably he sit down the prison for 10 years. I don't know, maybe 10 years. Maybe 10 years. But after he and going out from the prison, he using some of the fake money, fake printed money, and trying to use in all countryside, also in Yanbian areas. And apparently he is a criminal, but in deeply analyze the reason why he is trying to, if using the fake money printed money, if who catched by police officer, and who will put the devil probably. But he just used some of the and 100 Jinmingyan RMB. So it is probably some of the and a few years prison and justice. So this accident will happen on when I was a media student 2001. What is 2001? And the government, Mr. Jiang Zemin, will take off the leader of the Communist Party's position, and Hu Xijin will upper side position. So, and who is then the Jiang Zemin? And Jiang Zemin pointed by some of the Sichuan leader Deng Xiaoping. Deng Xiaoping is the Sichuan people. So Jiang Zemin means the Nanjing area's river we call the Changjiang, and Jiang Zemin means the Changjiang and represented. So, and Mr. Mansu, because the Hu Xijin and the Jiang Nanjing teams completely lose the position in China, and the dangerous groups, Kungshan Party's army, and Hu Xijin, Hu Jintao, and Wen Jiabao were outsider the Communist Party's topest leader. If they controlled all of the Communist Party, what happened? The Nanjing people, like me, Mr. Nan, also the Mr. Sichuan, who and just like to eat the spicy food, will be put to death. So, the Mr. Mansu, apparently he is a criminal. Probably he is just position of the pink man, the Breaking Bad's pink man, and he is definitely but he is not pink man. He is a very tough person, Mr. Mansu. Why I thought that? Because the 2001, the Mr. Mansu used some of the fake money, and he catched by apparently my father. His real name is Lao La. And Lao La, my father character probably existed, and two people. One is the Xi Jinping, Kobayashi, and the drug and master Kobayashi Seiyaku is Lao La. And another character is the Hu Xijin. And I just found it that, and last week and this week, apparently my father's shape is completely different. Last week my father's shape is Mr. Lao La, and this week my father's shape, and apparently he is Hu Xijin's shape and Hu Xijin. So the two characters just trying to pretend and apparently my father, Hu Xijin and Lao La. The 2001, the Mr. Mansu just crimed apparently my father, and when I sit on the prison in the Yanji Gongan, why did you come to see me? Why did you come to see my environment watching? This means probably when I was in elementary school, class 3, and my father already killed by the Wangqing Gongan. So this means the Mr. Mansu just using some of the and crying and crying against apparently my father. He just tested, is it real? Mr. Nan Xiangjun, my father, and he tested the result, found that he is not my father. The Mr. Mans and probably they are and related to something like and making money for Chengdu military, because from the end 2002, the Hu Xijin and taking the and Communist Party and topest leader. 2003, Mr. Bill Gates, the Microsoft's founder, killed by Communist Party's army. Communist Party's army killed Mr. and Bill Gates, Microsoft founder. So, probably the Bill Gates as a realistic wisdom and Sichuan and the king. I don't know it's real Sichuan king also the brain, probably he is and the brain of the Sichuan province, Chengdu military, and because the windows in Chinese pronunciation is and Sichuan, and it is very similar to the Sichuan province in our pronunciation situation analyzed. So, and Mr. Mansu is the theoretical warrior, and probably he and joined some of the deceiver and the Communist Party, something like using the fake money and buying the and high price and high crowds bag price bag. All of those and Mr. Man's behavior just want to save the Mr. Sichuan's and the little child. The hope of the future is just Mr. Mansu just want to coming to true. So the Breaking Bad TV shows and just showing us who is the theoretical bad, who is theoretical good. Probably the Gus, Mr. Gus, is the real good man, because as you know, the entire U.S. and the law system is just corrupted by some of the Satan churches' money. They just want to end becoming the $1 million rich, and they don't care the U.S. and the citizens and the life. They don't care and the U.S. and citizens and the death. They only care about the money, $1 million rich. So, if a law system controlled by the money, who is the theoretical, the Satan church money? The Wall Street, New York's and the Wall Street groups control 100% United States and the theoretical and paper money. So they use the paper money buying a lot of the technology company, buying a lot of the and the workers' assets. Which one is the workers' assets? Probably the workers' assets only the NASDAQ and S&P. But the police officer is take off eyes from the citizen. So the Wall Street group, the Satan Church group, just buying the police officer and the U.S. military and the White House. If we against the Wall Street, the police officer will be laid off, and if who against the White House, who against the Wall Street, who also will be laid off. So even if the small size company and the management system, who against the Wall Street, who also will be and lay off. So, and the probably the source of the evil comes from the money printer technology. If who and control the money printer machine, who will be the and rule all of the world's and behavior movement. In that reason, and why the Wall Street is so powerful groups, they holding just one weapon. What is the one weapon? Money printer machine, the Canon and the Sharp, the Japanese printer company. They holding the Sharp and Canon and the law system. So, and in general, and the citizen, like Chengdu military, Chengdu people, Sichuan people do not know money. Where is the money coming? Well, everybody do not understand where is the money coming. Money coming from the Guangzhou military. Guangzhou military. Probably the money printed in North Korea. North Korea is and Black Rock. Black Rock is the hidden world's and the most securities and biggest and dark web contents. The money printer machine, the North Korea Black Rocket. So, and the Guangzhou military. Who is the Guangzhou military? Behind the Guangzhou military is the U.S. military in the Philippines. Also, behind the Guangzhou military and the Australia's military will stand by support the Guangzhou military. So, the Beijing citizen is the clear, and the Chinese central government, even no single people, do not in the Beijing area, Beijing city. So, the Beijing city just and surrounded the small and capacity of the Guangzhou military, and the Beijing military is some of the sub Guangzhou military. Probably who is the Guangzhou military, and which place just and train the Guangzhou military. The answer is the Gobi, and the Hyogo Bingku. The in Chinese means the Bingku means the and the weapon of the source of the weapon. The source of the weapon just and mass production. Guangzhou military to sending the and the most powerful and Guanxi military. The Guangzhou military is theoretical and shape is the Guanxi military. Why I say the Guanxi military? And the Communist Party Hu Xijin and 100% is Communist Party people just depend on the two words, Guanxi. What is the Guanxi? And who created the Guanxi? And the LG CEO Nan Yong and Samsung and the CEO Lee Yongoni. Also the SK Hynix CEO Che Tae-won. All of those and Satan groups and the CEO created Guanxi. Also the NVIDIA's and leader, the Mr. Huang, also and he depend on the Guanxi. What is the Guanxi? And do you know in Apple, Do you know in the White House's people? Do you know in the and the Sony's and the people? Do you know in the some of the great person in Wall Street? Do you know the Harvard famous professor who covered you? Something that kind of the professional world we call the 关系. So, who created the United States' 关系 and the position up and the 关系 the salary up? Probably the White House and the Apple created the 关系 and the formula. The source of the 关系 and do you know in the Apple something that kind of the professional world comes from the Japan's 关系 military. Which place is the 关系? The Osaka city and the Kobe city, and the biggest 关系 and central governments. So the Osaka, which company position is most powerful? Panasonic and Sharp. Panasonic and Sharp is the most powerful 关系 company. So those two groups and 100% employee may related 关系 military who killed and Nanjing's 6.3 million people, and they also killing the current the Guangzhou people now, and probably the few million Guangzhou people will be theft some of the knife from the Guangzhou military and 11-0 police officer, and because the Delta is just providing some of the 11-0 W adapter against the and Kobe Panasonic factory. And who is the 11-0? And 11-0 is Guangzhou military. What is the W mean? W mean is the and strong, most strong, and magnificence mean. So 11-0's most strong business and the most magnificence moment is the killing the and people, the adapter, becoming the adapter. And I always put some of the adapters issue on my Facebook contents and poster. And the adapter covered by vinyl and transparencies and the plastic bag. Probably they covered and the people's body using the plastic bag. And then they covered and wound point on a stomach place, just using some of the label related material to seal out the wound, preventing the water and blood out from the wound. And they using some of the Delta business. Which one is Delta? Delta is the Taiwanese company. And which one is the Delta's headquarters? Probably the U.S. and the S&P company. The Delta is probably the biggest airport and transportation company. So the Mexican founded 20,000 and body and who and in a refrigerator. 100% the Delta and related the human body's barbecue business.